Hello, my fellow elementalists. Last time I made a video about elements of the game, I designed a mono air aggro deck that I called the Windrush deck and tried to go over a lot of details about it and give a few examples of gameplay. Just wanted to give a secondary update video to this because there were a few things that I should have gone over about the deck, but it kind of slipped my mind as I was recording, and the fantastic people over on the Elements Discord server gave me a few tips and tricks about the deck and just making it easier to play. So I wanted to go over those as well. So real quick, the first thing I want to mention, when we did the unupgraded version, and I talked about, you have all your pillars, and then everything else is a common except for the dragons, which are uncommon. Dragons are actually the easiest to get. I wanted to go over that real quick, because what you do, under the quests section, after you complete the tutorial, you can go over to the Proving Grounds, which are very standard, straightforward decks, or quests, I should say. And then the first one is Dragon Tamer. I don't know if it's every time you defeat the Dragon Tamer or only the first time, but if you do defeat the Dragon Tamer, the reward for this is you get 2 unupgraded dragons of the element of your choosing. So if you want to go through this deck and get the full unupgraded version right off the bat, the commons are super easy to get, and then the dragons are also super easy to get. You just choose air and you get your 2 dragons, and that's how you'll do it. Next thing I want to go over, I did fully upgrade this deck. Got the Azure Dragons fully upgraded, the Owl's Eyes fully upgraded, Shards of Freedom fully upgraded. All of the upgrades are very nice, and it does feel marginally better. Like you could tell that there's a significant difference between the unupgraded versions of, like, the difference between Azure Dragon and Sky Dragon, or the unupgraded and upgraded Shards of Freedom and Owl's Eyes and everything like that. But I'm still contending that, realistically, as long as you upgrade your pillars into towers, you have a full playset of upgraded Damesflies, and if you have a full set of upgraded Griffins, I will say those are the real mandatory upgrades there. After that, I really do like having the upgraded worms. But if you don't have upgraded worms, you don't have upgraded Azure Dragons, you don't have upgraded Owl's Eyes, and you don't have upgraded Shards of Freedom, realistically, not the end of the world. So that's kind of where I stand on that. The only other thing I want to go over, and I'm not very good at this yet, it's going to take a lot of practice, but when I did my first video and I was going through Mage and I was talking about how this deck is very fast, you can consistently get down to like about 25 seconds, maybe a little bit lower if you get a lucky hand, based on how good you are. The people in the Discord were telling me that there are keyboard shortcuts, so I'm not going to try and demonstrate this right now, but the cards in your hand can be assigned to specific numbers based on their placement in your hand. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That said, if you press the numbers on your keyboard to select that pertain to those specific cards, you will place the cards onto the field. So, for example, this would be 3. Once I play this one, the cards shift up. So this one would also be 3. Then this one would be 3, but you skip that. This one would be 4. And then this boops up, so this one will be 4 again. So if I do 3, 3, 4, 4, and then I can press the spacebar on my keyboard to just pass my turn, instead of clicking on each individual card, it would just look something like this. and I'm not very good at it yet. It's going to take a little bit of practice, but it does save a lot of time for, instead of clicking through each individual card, it's just going to be a matter of memory spacing for the first couple of hands as your hand is still full, and kind of recognizing which ones, like if you have towers in your third, fifth, and seventh spot, what keys you have to press in what order, in order to get those cards. It might actually be easier if you start at the bottom and work your way up. So instead of worrying about 3, 5, and 7, where like you press 3, then your 5 becomes a 4, then you press 5, it doesn't work, you press 4, then it goes, everything like that. Probably going down the list, 7, 5, then 3, since those won't change as you're playing from whatever card is closest to your library indicator. Then that's probably the simplest way to do it. But to give you an example, with using the keyboard shortcuts that I just demonstrated, and I figured out from the Discord server, there's no way it took me a minute. Probably because I was giving the demonstration before I actually accepted the hand. But let me see if I can pull this up. Yeah, so as a example, when I did try this method out, I was able to get it down to under 10 seconds. This 9.3 is the fastest I was able to get it. I could probably get it faster if I really wanted to practice, if I was a dedicated speedrunner for elements of the game, if I really wanted to be. I don't think I'm going to be, at least not in the foreseeable future. But to give you an example, I took this screenshot after I did get the sub 10 seconds. This was my first time getting sub 10 seconds. And then even then, consistently, I saw myself getting like 10.7 or 11.2 just with the keyboard shortcuts there. So this is a very, if you're looking for quicker gold very efficiently, practicing this will help you get there. Otherwise, I'll also show you, I talked about how this deck is good against mages for sure. Obviously, it decimates commoners. It's not that great against champions or demigods. That said, if you're going into the Colosseum, I think this, I completed it for the day, so it's not going to give it to me. But in the Colosseum, you have this option up here. It looks kind of like this. It will say, Novice Endurance, fight 3 commoners in a row, may try until you win. And the reward for that, I believe, is 200 gold flat. So if you absolutely demolish 3 commoners in a row, which you can do with this deck, once a day you get an easy 200 gold in addition to what you're doing with the mages. Also, this deck really isn't that bad in Arena 1. Because you're going up against other player-made decks, you're going against people that have really played the game and have figured a lot of things out and are probably... they're at least a lot smarter than me when it comes to deck building. But to give you an example, I'll just go into an arena. Oh, why did I accept that hand? That was just bad. I'm probably just going to get absolutely slaughtered. Yeah, okay, that was not fun. Let's try this again, though. Okay, right off the bat, this is a much better hand. So. I don't think it's an extra 20. It's not going to be enough. try it again just so I don't look like an exact idiot. Cool. Okay, so you can win Arena 1 matches with some relative success. And if you do that, you're getting roughly about 100 gold. So this took about 30 seconds, again on the high end compared to what it was versus the mages. But even, one game in without worrying about stacking up streak bonuses, without having to worry about life total bonus or anything like that, you're still making, we'll say slightly over 3 times as much if you're going into the arena matches. The only downside to that is arena matches do cost 25 gold a piece, so if you're not winning consistently, you would be down gold. There would be a net loss. But I played 3 matches, lost 2 of them, so I lost 50 gold. But then when I won my 3rd match, gained 100. No, I played 3 matches, so I paid 75 gold. But on the 3rd match I did win, I gained 100, so I still had a net gain of 25 gold after that. So, I mean, give or take, plus or minus like 1 or 2 or whatever. But so yeah, doing your daily quest, or sorry, not quest. Going into the Coliseum, you get a real simple 200 gold from the Novice Endurance. You can go against the arena if you want to. Otherwise, this deck, I would say this is going to be my final version of the deck, unless they add a ton of new wind type cards. I really don't see myself fundamentally changing this style of an aggro deck. If I'm going to be doing anything else, I'm playing a different deck type entirely. But yeah, a very quick update on that. Just wanted to go over some pieces of information I found or kind of realized since my first video. Hopefully this will help improve your game, as the great people at the Discord helped improve mine. I'm going to be putting another link in the chat below to the Discord server if you guys want to join that. Definitely a very friendly community. Very helpful that all of them are very passionate about this game, and they're the type of people who, because they understand that they share the same passion that you do or the same interest that you do, they do nothing short of try to help. They have nothing short of a willingness to help. They love having new players. They love trading advice. They love sharing decks. So if you need any ideas and want to bounce some ideas around, definitely visit. Also, one more thing I should mention. When I originally posted the video for the unupgraded, I had the chroma mark as opposed to the wind mark. Because these are air marks, because these are mono air decks, always have the air mark. No exceptions. So that was a mistake on my part that I just didn't realize as I made the decks. But yeah, I think that's everything. So hopefully everything else works out for you guys as far as joining elements and playing the game. And I do hope that you enjoy it. Take care.